Listen, I have a great deal of respect for someone who puts all their money, their effort, and especially their passion on a project that is a fan film related to a famous property. We've seen many examples of them from Star Wars, Spider-Man, other not-so-famous properties, but if you write only fan film on the search tab of YouTube right now, the property that you will find most examples of fan film is none other than Batman. And if I could say my theory why I think this is, it's because I think Batman and his universe is a delicious playground for any creator or writer or director or animator to play with. His look, his design, the world of Gotham City, the Rogues Gallery, everything is just too fascinating not to try come up with your own ideas that you would like to see as a story for this character. After all, life is short, and we, huge fans of this character, can only wonder if one day we can have a chance to put our own print and ideas into this universe. And this is what happened to me a couple of years ago. The bug of the bat also bit me, and I created probably the most poor version of a short film from this character, but at the same time, one that I'm very proud of because besides being a Batman story, it's also a story of my own. So I would like to present that to you, but before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Gus, but you can call me BATGUS, and let's talk about this fan animation short film. Like I said, I think Batman and his universe is a fascinating tapestry of characters, situations, story arcs, and awesome visuals that anybody would like to work on. Not only that, but I do believe that he is the character that has more possibilities of alternative versions or other kinds of interpretations to be played with. We had Batman by Gaslight, we had Batman Samurai, Batman the Brave and the Bold with a lighter and more comedic tone, the graphic novel Batman Arkham Asylum, which is just a huge wall of dark and kind of horror-based paintings at each page of the comic, and etc. Because Batman has so many possibilities as a character and as a story creation that is just too tempting not to try something. You can go realistic, you can go fantastic, you can put him to fight the most dirty and street-level criminals, and you can also put him fighting intergalactic monsters. The sky is the limit with this character, or should I say, the galaxy is the limit. So having this in mind, I decided to have a crack in my own story with Batman that would be fulfilled as a style of animation that I was already doing in my other channel here on YouTube, called Joe Ripper, a channel where I post these animations that are done using the most basic resources like paper, cutouts, editing, my voice dubbing the characters, and basically most of the animations in this channel are of my own original character called Joe Ripper, who is a Death Ripper and a horror slasher that lives inside the mind of a little girl called Angelina. And they both have this sinister and comedic adventures together in her imagination. If you want to check them out, I will leave the link of the seasons of the animation because it is also separated by seasons. It has 24 episodes by the time I am making this video. By the way, I'm working right now on a novel based on these characters that I will release soon, so stay on for more news in the future. But anyway, I know this is not the best quality of animation, but it's a process that I developed on my own because I don't have many resources to produce these animations. And in this channel, there are not only animations about Joe Ripper, there are also isolated stories that I like to call short films, and one of them is an animation called Dead West that I released recently. It's basically a western with zombies, and I'm very proud of it because it actually entered in a short film festival and it was shown for a lot of people. I'll also leave the link here if you want to see it. So, gathering these ideas, I thought with myself, if I could write and produce a story of Batman in this style of animation, what story would I like to tell? Of course, it had to be a story that was simple enough so I could create using papers and cutouts. At the same time, it had to be a story that had a beginning, a middle, and an end in a matter of minutes, not something too long. And like an inception, the idea of time travel entered in my mind, combined with the fact that I haven't seen many stories with time travel having Batman as a protagonist. Of course, many comic book buffs can tell me that I'm wrong right now and mention some examples, but I don't remember any story that is very relevant. So this time travel element stayed with me until a question came up. What if Batman could go back to the exact day that his parents were murdered? If he could go back as Batman and stop Joe Chill, the guy who murdered his parents, from killing them. Having been Batman for so many years, would he actually go back to the zero moment that everything started and undo everything to have an alternative life in the present? And if he did that, what would be the consequences of this change? What if Batman no longer existed because of the effect of this action? Would it be worth to undo everything? And that was the point that I said to myself, I got my story. Now, how he would go back in time, that was another issue. So I thought about it for many days until suddenly it came to me. What about the Clock King? He is the master of time. He's the only villain of Batman that actually deals with time. What if he created a device that can make anybody go back in time to any specific moment that this person would want to? What if he provoked Batman to go back in time and undo the moments that some of his most wanted criminals were created? Or if he could go back in time and undo the moment that he was created, the moment that his parents died, that the child Bruce Wayne was not a child anymore. In fact, he was not Bruce Wayne anymore. He was a creature from the darkness. So there I went and I started my animation in the same style that I did all the others. And it's called Batman the Darkest Night. Why the Darkest Night? Because the night that his parents died was the darkest night of his life. And I created a line of dialogue that I really loved that Batman says that he would never let anybody else live such a dark night in their lives as a promise to his murdered parents. So there you go, that's when the title was born. Then I finished the whole thing, posted on YouTube in 2021, as I was expecting, almost nobody watched. But since I have this new channel talking about Batman, I could not forget about mentioning this little project that I did in the past and I would like to share with the world. Maybe it can get a new life now and you can watch it in my other channel. So I will leave the link for it right up here on the screen and down in the description of the video. And listen, I would love to go back to this idea in the future when I have more money and resources to create this story as a live action maybe. So this first short animation can almost serve as a animated storyboard for this future project. A storyboard that you can watch right now, and if you like, please leave your like in that video and also subscribe to that channel because there are other animations there and you can also enjoy them too. And this is it. Thank you so much for your attention if you watch it so far. Also feel free to leave a like in this video if you are like my content and subscribe to the channel for more amazing Bat content in the future. Thanks again, see you in the next video and bye bye.